Have you ever wondered what you would eat if the supermarkets suddenly shut down? An unsettling thought, isn't it? But the reality is, unexpected situations can arise at any moment, and it's crucial to be prepared. This is where the importance of having an emergency food supply comes in. Imagine this: a natural disaster strikes, leaving the power grid down and stores closed. Or perhaps a pandemic hits, resulting in strict quarantine measures and empty supermarket shelves. In such situations, having a stash of emergency food supplies can be the difference between panic and peace of mind. But it's not just about disasters or pandemics. Even social unrest or economic instability can cause disruptions in our food supply chain. We've seen it happen before, and it can certainly happen again. Having your own emergency food supply is like having an insurance policy against these unpredictable events. It ensures that you and your loved ones won't go hungry when times get tough. Now you might be thinking, but I already have food in my pantry. That's great, but an emergency food supply is different. It's about having a dedicated stock of non-perishable, long-lasting items, specifically kept aside for crisis situations. It's not just about survival, but also about maintaining decent nutrition and morale during difficult times. Of course, having an emergency food supply isn't just for worst-case scenarios. It's also handy during more mundane emergencies, like when you forgot to shop for groceries or when unexpected guests drop by. It provides a sense of security, knowing that you're prepared to feed yourself and your family, no matter what life throws your way. So the next time you're at the grocery store, think beyond your weekly shopping list. Consider investing in your peace of mind by starting your own emergency food supply. Because the unexpected happens, and when it does, it's those who are prepared that fare the best. Understanding the necessity of emergency food supplies is the first step to survival in unexpected situations. So, what makes a food item suitable for an emergency supply? A question that's essential to address when building a well-rounded, disaster-ready pantry. First and foremost, we should consider the shelf life of the food we're storing. Ideally, your emergency food supply should last for years, not months. This means opting for non-perishable foods like canned goods, freeze-dried meals, and grains that can be sealed in airtight containers. Now let's discuss preparation. In an emergency situation, you may not have access to your typical kitchen facilities, so it's crucial to choose foods that require minimal preparation. Pre-cooked canned goods, for instance, can be eaten straight from the can. Meals that only need boiling water for preparation are also a good choice. Next up, nutritional value. In survival scenarios, you need foods packed with the nutrients your body needs to function efficiently. This includes a balance of proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. Also, consider foods high in fiber to aid digestion, and those enriched with vitamins and minerals to boost your immune system. And then we come to storage. The foods you select should be compact and lightweight, especially if you need to evacuate quickly. Avoid bulky packaging and choose foods that can be compressed into smaller spaces. A bonus tip: vacuum-sealed foods not only save space, but they also extend the shelf life of your items. Lastly, while taste might not be a top priority, it's still worth considering. Let's face it, food is not just for survival, it's also for morale. Having tasty food can keep spirits high in challenging times. In summary, the ideal emergency food supply should have a long shelf life, require easy preparation, provide high nutritional value, allow for compact storage, and preferably, taste good too. Remember, during an emergency, your food supply is your lifeline. It's not just about getting through the day, but about maintaining your health and well-being while doing so. Knowing what to store can make all the difference in a survival situation. Now that we know the why and what, it's time to get into the how. Planning is the cornerstone of creating a DIY emergency food supply. It's not merely about hoarding cans of beans and packs of instant noodles. It requires thoughtful consideration and some basic arithmetic. First, let's discuss who you're planning for. Are you a party of one, or are you provisioning for a family of 4, 6, or more? Each person's dietary needs must be taken into account. Kids, adults, and the elderly all have different daily calorie requirements. Also, consider any special dietary needs, like allergies or chronic conditions that require a specific diet. Next, let's think about the duration of the emergency you're preparing for. Common wisdom suggests planning for at least 3 days, as that's how long it typically takes for help to arrive in most disaster scenarios. However, for those who want to be truly prepared, planning for a 2-week emergency is a more foolproof strategy. Now let's do some calculations. The average adult needs about 2,000 calories a day to maintain their energy levels. So for a family of 4 planning for a 2-week emergency, we're talking about 112,000 calories. That's a lot of food, but don't fret. It's not as daunting as it sounds once you start breaking it down into individual meals and snacks. Remember, variety is key. You don't want to be eating the same thing day in and day out. It's not just about avoiding boredom. A varied diet ensures you're getting a wide range of nutrients. So include a mix of proteins, carbohydrates, and fats in your plan. And don't forget fruits and veggies, either in canned, dried, or freeze-dried form. Planning an emergency food supply is like solving a complex puzzle. But once you've figured it out, you'll have the peace of mind knowing that you're prepared for whatever comes your way. A well-planned food supply can be a lifesaver, literally. With a solid plan in hand, the next step is gathering your supplies. Embarking on the gathering process can be an adventure in itself. It's not just a trip to the grocery store, it's a mission to secure your future. The food items you choose to gather should be based on your plan, which takes into consideration your dietary needs, preferences, and the number of people in your group. Let's break this down. Firstly, consider the types of food that are ideal for emergency situations. These are typically non-perishable items with long shelf lives. Think canned goods, dried foods, and freeze-dried meals. These foods are not only easy to store, but they're also typically packed with the nutrients you'll need to stay healthy and energized. Next, think about where to find these food items. While your local supermarket is an obvious choice, don't forget about online retailers, farmers markets, and bulk food stores. These outlets can often offer a wider variety and better prices, especially when buying in bulk. Now let's talk quality. When gathering your food supplies, it's crucial to ensure their quality. Check the expiration dates and make sure the packaging is intact. You don't want to stock up on food that's close to expiring or damaged in any way. Remember, quality over quantity is key here. It's better to have fewer items of high-quality food than a surplus of food that won't last or provide the necessary nutrients. Also worth noting, don't forget to include comfort foods in your emergency food supply. These can be a huge morale booster in a stressful situation. Things like chocolate, instant coffee, or your favorite snack can make a world of difference when you're in survival mode. Lastly, consider adding a variety of spices to your food supply. They take up little space, have a long shelf life, and can greatly improve the taste of your meals, making your survival food more enjoyable to eat. With careful selection, your food supply can serve you well when you need it the most. Now that we have our food, how do we ensure it lasts? This is the question we'll tackle in this section. The answer lies in the art and science of storage. First, let's talk about dry goods, things like rice, beans, pasta, and grains. These items should be kept in airtight containers, away from light, heat, and moisture. Plastic buckets with gamma seal lids or mylar bags with oxygen absorbers are excellent options. They help keep your food fresh and pest-free for an extended period. Now on to canned goods. These are easy to store. All you need is a cool, dry place. But remember, canned goods come with expiry dates. Regularly rotate your stock to ensure you're consuming them within their shelf life. Also, avoid storing canned goods in a place that may experience extreme temperature fluctuations, as it can affect the food's quality and safety. Freeze-dried and dehydrated foods require a bit of special attention. They should be kept in their original packaging until you're ready to use them. Once opened, reseal them tightly or transfer the contents to an airtight container. Again, keep them in a cool, dry, and dark place. Lastly, let's talk about water. It's not just about storing enough water for drinking. You also need to consider water for cooking and hygiene. Store your water in food-grade water storage containers, away from direct sunlight and chemical substances. And don't forget to rotate your water supply every 6 months. But where should all these be kept? The optimal storage area is cool, dry, and dark. Basements often fit the bill. But if that's not an option, a closet or a cabinet that doesn't get much light or heat can work too. Remember, the key to successful storage is organization. Label everything with the date of purchase and regularly check your supplies. This way, you can rotate your stock and avoid wastage. Correct storage is the key to extending the life of your emergency food supply. So store wisely and ensure your survival in tough times. We're genuinely interested in discovering the topics you'd like to watch. Don't hesitate to share your suggestions in the comments below. Also, remember to subscribe and hit the like button to stay updated with our latest content on my YouTube channel. Our food supply is stored. Are we done? Not quite. Just like a well-tuned car or a thriving garden, your emergency food supply requires regular maintenance to ensure it's always in tip-top condition. So let's dive into the nitty-gritty of maintaining your food supply. Firstly, it's crucial to keep an eye out for signs of spoilage. This includes checking for changes in color, texture, or smell in your food. If your canned goods are bulging or leaking, or if your grains have a musty odor, it's a clear indicator that they're no longer safe to eat. Next, let's talk about stock rotation. Ever heard of the phrase, first in, first out? It's a simple concept that can make a world of difference in maintaining your food supply. Whenever you add new items to your stock, make sure to use the older supplies first. This way, you're always consuming the oldest items in your stockpile, ensuring nothing goes to waste. Now, you might be wondering, how often should I rotate my stocks? The answer varies depending on the shelf life of your food items. As a rule of thumb, try to rotate your supplies at least once every 6 months. Finally, replenishing your supplies is just as important. Keep a close track of what you're using and replace it as soon as possible. This ensures that your stockpile remains consistent and ready for any situation. To put it simply, maintaining your emergency food supply isn't a one-time task. It's a continuous process that involves vigilance and a bit of elbow grease. But the peace of mind it brings, knowing that you're prepared for whatever life throws your way, is absolutely worth it. Remember, a well-maintained food supply is like a well-oiled machine. It runs smoothly, performs when you need it, and most importantly, it doesn't let you down in crunch time. Maintenance ensures your food supply stays fresh and ready for use. So keep checking, keep rotating, and keep replenishing. Because when it comes to survival, every little bit counts. That was quite a journey, wasn't it? We've traversed the landscape of emergency food supplies, exploring the significance of preparedness and taking a deep dive into the process of creating and maintaining these life-saving provisions. Let's take a moment to revisit the trail we've blazed. We started by understanding the critical nature of emergency food supplies. In a world where uncertainties are a constant, being prepared for a SHTF situation isn't just smart. It's a necessity. It's not about being pessimistic, but about being realistic and prepared to face any adversity that life might throw at us. From there, we moved on to identify the components of an ideal emergency food supply. Remember, it's not just about stockpiling cans of beans and rice. Variety is key, and nutrition cannot be compromised. We need proteins, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, and minerals to keep our bodies functioning optimally, even in crisis situations. And let's not forget about water, the elixir of life. Next, we dived into planning. Just as a builder needs a blueprint before construction, we need a well-thought-out plan before we start gathering our supplies. We discussed how to calculate the amount of food and water needed based on the number of people and the duration of the potential emergency. With our plan in hand, we then began the process of gathering. We understood that this isn't a race, but a marathon. Slow and steady wins the race. We also talked about the importance of choosing long-lasting, non-perishable items and how to make smart choices to get the best bang for our buck. Once we had our supplies, we discussed storing them correctly. We learned about the importance of a cool, dry, and dark place to keep our food safe and prolong its shelf life. We also touched on the importance of proper packaging to prevent pests and moisture from ruining our supplies. Lastly, we emphasized the significance of maintaining our supplies. Just like a car needs regular checkups, our food supplies need regular inspections. This includes checking expiry dates, rotating our stock, and replacing any damaged items. We've covered a lot of ground, and we hope you found this journey informative and useful. Remember, knowledge is power, and being prepared is the best way to face any situation with confidence. We're genuinely interested in discovering the topics you'd like to watch. Don't hesitate to share your suggestions in the comments below. Also, remember to subscribe and hit the like button to stay updated with our latest content on my YouTube channel. Without a doubt, knowledge is the best survival tool. Until next time, stay prepared, stay safe.